Hello, I'm Tarina Hines by maiden name, uh, Terena. Again, Terena. Okay. Um, One thing my mother told me about the DCS custody case and by my children being adopted, Tajay James and Jordan House back in 2017. I got the mail and it showed that my children was adopted. The only time I missed a visit, I only missed like two visits, and uh, they didn't really keep paperwork on the visits. They didn't even take too many photos during the visits. I believe that every visit you supposed to have a photo. You supposed to have some type of writing of all the visits that you have done, and probably some that you have missed. They weren't able to provide a lot of information. The only thing they had was the court files and what DCS had to say in Tucson, Arizona. They didn't do a lot of things right. If they were looking around the house, they didn't have a piece of paper, or they didn't clip a photo to say, well, okay, her house was clean. There was no photos to show that my house was clean. It was no photos to show anything about. The only photos we had was the photos we took as a family uh, of the visits, and I can get that out of my son's phone because he did have a cell phone. My oldest son, Tajay James, had a cell phone. But I'm gonna rewind. I'm jumping all over the place right now because it's at night and it's time for me to go to bed. But what was on my mind was what my mother told me. She said, if those kids get adopted, they're still your babies. They're still your children. Don't look at it as you're a bad mama or you're a good mama. Just know if they get adopted that you're still the mother. And in some states, as a mother, a biological mother, you still got the rights to know what's going on with your children. And they supposed to go check on those kids anyway, even if they're adopted. So if they're not doing that, then they're not doing their jobs. If it's a foster child, they supposed to always stay involved, the DCS people. CPS, DCS, Department of Child Safety, or Child Protective Service, they supposed to always stay involved with foster children. Like right now, I got my real children with me. I got my two other real children with me. They've been following me for a long time in Tucson, Arizona. Like I got foster children. I don't have foster children. I have my real children. Jada D House is my real child. Royalty House is my real. Hell, they look just like me. You could tell they're my real children. And they not adopted. They never have been adopted. So, I have my real children with me. And that's what worries me about this whole case is that how can they follow me throughout the years for my real children unless you're trying to get them taken from their real parents. See, that's what Arizona was on. Like I said, they used to be part of Mexico. So if they used to be part of Mexico, California, and Arizona, I'm going to always say that. They will always do things illegal because they used to be another country. Mexico, that's another country. It will never be like California and Arizona. It will never be like Chicago, Illinois. They will never be like Michigan. Why? Because California and Arizona was part of Mexico. They were included in Mexico before. So I don't believe shit, nothing people say in Arizona. Part my language. I don't believe nothing Arizona person says. If it ain't my kids, I don't believe them. I don't believe nothing a California person say. A born and raised California, I don't believe them. I won't believe them. Because they got highly weird out there. So everything is a movie to a California person. Everything is a sitcom and a joke to a California person. So it don't surprise me when now Patrick goes like, oh, she act like it was a sitcom. Every time I told her something, she's like, oh. And somebody gonna do that to her one day. Oh, they gonna make her life look like a sitcom or a comedy. You know, even with Stephanie Garcia, somebody gonna make her look bad too. So I don't, you know what, I do firmly believe, even Tiana Brown, somebody gonna reveal that she ain't the real mama to Tajay James or Jordan Haskell. First thing I ask, is you the real mama to them kids? Because I don't think you are. Especially if I take my time and just write a novel about what's going on and then show photos of my children, my real children, and then have the birth certificates there. It's already registered with the state. Tajay was born in Chicago. Jordan House was born in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. So anywhere I go, and Chicago, Illinois did tell me that she changed their names to Brown, to her last name. Because Arizona DCS, Megan Robinson told her to do that. She went on and changed Tajay name to Tajay Brown and Jordan Brown. Those were not their real last names. So, you know, it kind of worried me. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to go ahead and make it quick. Okay? I gave birth to my children. And that is the most beautiful gift to have or to give to a baby. More than a stranger can say that your mama don't want you. Never think your mama do not want you. Just go back to when you were born. First of all, your mama had a choice to give birth to you or not. If your mama didn't want you, they would have aborted you a long damn time ago. So the system put it into children's head that their parents don't want them. But no, it's the system of DCS and CPS, the wrong type of people that gets involved, that tells kids that they're not loved by their parents. But that's not true. Your parents gave birth to you. That's the best gift of all, is giving birth to your child, giving them life. And that's something a stranger cannot override. That's something the courts cannot override. Didn't she give birth to those kids? So what makes you think she didn't want? And why are you thinking that their biological parents are bad parents, Rosetta Connor? That's the one that took Jordan House, screaming at me like she's the mother. First of all, I'm a black woman and I got black children. Why would I put my black children through that, even if I was racist? I don't understand that. No, honey. If I'm a Black Lives Matter member, why would I deny my own black children, honey? Don't believe everything you hear. If I was a racist, if I was a racist, why would I deny my own children? I gave birth to those children. So that right there, I won. And that's what my mom said, yeah, you won that one already. You won that with God. You won that with God already. So I wouldn't even worry about them people. But versus all the strangers saying on paper, you sure it wasn't their household? Why would you think that way about some stranger you don't even know? Question their psyche. Why would you think that Tarina Hines will hurt? I will question Nasa Pachico mind and Rosetta Connor mind. Why would you think she's such a danger to her kid unless your parents were a danger to you? Why would you think that way about parents, biological parents? That's why I said that you have to ask the right questions to those people. Why do you think like that? She ain't gonna hurt her own kids, trust me. And that's what David Polo said. She ain't gonna hurt her own kids. Tarina ain't gonna hurt her own kids. Mm-mm. That don't sound right. And that's why that lady, Anasa Pacheco, got fired for tampering with the reports. First of all, the problem was with my husband. Me and him fighting. It had nothing to do with those kids. Those kids was just being around the situation. That's because he was miserable. He came miserable. He was a very miserable guy when he came from Chicago. And I was already in Tucson, Arizona. He was very miserable when he came. He wasn't happy. And my oldest son, Tajay, was right there looking at how unhappy that man was. He was very unhappy. He just got out of. That's why I said go back to his relationships in Chicago. How was his relationships with those other women? You know, these are things they did not investigate before they can give away somebody else's kids to someone else. You know? You gotta ask all these questions. Why do y'all think the way y'all think as DCS workers? You know, exactly. Why are your mind thinking this way? Why are your mind wondering this way about this individual that you never even met before? And then it turns out the girl Rosetta Connor thought I was someone else that she knew. Identity mistake. And she thought I was someone that she knew because I looked like someone she knew. And turns out, oops, I wasn't that person. Because she saw my ID. She knew what the hell she was doing. That's why I say I don't like Mexicans. And some white people I don't really like. Because they're the biggest liars. Some white people are the biggest liars. And the courts believe everything that they be saying, and it's just not true. But what if you get a judge that don't believe the DCA? What if you get a judge that's been adopted before? See, that's the karma right there. Some judges go through adoption when they were probably little. You don't even know the judge passed. You don't know them judges past is out there. What if you get a judge that been through a lot of trauma themselves and they just end up taking up for the parents, the biological parents? So, you know, but yeah, it's people out there that made it out of DCS custody and got great jobs and made it out of foster homes and got great jobs as judges and police officers, and they know damn well that the system ain't all that safe. Again, my name is Tarina Hines.